rural territory of the Wetsunny people was established centuries ago, when the first families arrived to explore its vast natural resources and began to practice agriculture and livestock soon after. Following the initial settlement phase, plantations of sugar cane and food crops, mainly rice, pulses, and yam, were established. In the last century, it became one of the first rubber-producing regions in the world. Rubber spread throughout the territory, with other crops relegated to the most marginal lands. However, rubber entered a crisis at the end of the century due to unattractive prices and the arrival of new plagues, which decimated the plantations. Some farmers tried to recover them. Others sought to plant new crops, such as coffee, pepper, tea, and cassava. Others converted old plantations to pasture, but with little management. Over time, other economic activities flourished, and some villages became cities. The service and tourist sectors began to gain importance. The available data show that 78% of rural establishments belong to family farming. However, they occupy only 33% of the agricultural area. There are several land tenure problems, especially the lack of title deeds for many farming families. This has been causing legal insecurity, agrarian conflicts, and difficulty in accessing credit and productive inputs. Despite the natural potential for socioeconomic development, the majority of the population lives below the poverty line, with high illiteracy rates and low professional qualifications. Most of them have low incomes and consequently a low living standard. Rural families seek subsistence based on the natural resources on their properties or in their surroundings. Their livelihoods are already under severe pressure due to the historical degradation of the region's agroecosystems. It is common for these families to face a situation of decreasing production and the need to sell it to middlemen at very low prices, which translates into insufficient income and food insecurity. The evolution of short-cycle crop fields is also problematic. Productivities are low and declining. Excessive exposure of the soil to the effects of the sun, and mainly of rain, accelerate the loss of fertility. Despite that, some horticultural production areas have recently expanded due to irrigation and more careful farming practices, which have guaranteed a stable production and access to local markets. Homeyard food garden systems with integration of poultry and pigs with vegetable and fruit trees already constitute a local tradition with good potential for expansion. Two other activities represent excellent opportunities for growth: beekeeping and fish farming. One of the region's most visible environmental problems is the deforestation of large areas for economic concessions or industrial agricultural use. The use of unsustainable practices in the management of farmland and the massive removal or replacement of vegetation cover have resulted in greater soil exposure and severe degradation. Deforestation has also significantly affected the water cycle, causing a decrease in water infiltration and silting up of streams and rivers with less availability for domestic crops and animal husbandry. In a longer-term view, combining these factors with predicted climate change impacts like heat waves, floods, droughts, and other intense and unpredictable weather events should have a direct effect on the productive potential of agricultural systems and on the population's quality of life. Faced with this scenario of problems but also of potential, it is worth asking: how and who will be able to help the rural territory of the Wetsunny people?